Alright, let's go ahead and do a message for my fellow Aries or Aries cross watcher. You can be any sign watching this. This message is going to be titled Seventh Heaven, and I'm not talking about the show Seventh Heaven. I've not even seen it, but now I am interested in watching it because of this message today. I went to sleep last night and I had a very intricate dream. I'm not going to get into the dream in this one. I don't think it's for our message today. And again, this message won't be for everyone. It might even be for somebody on the outside of you, and this is what they're experiencing. But someone here is feeling, and in almost like in a state of seventh heaven, in a state of complete bliss, complete ecstasy, due in part by one of two things. Either oneself, someone's very happy with themselves, very proud of themselves for what they've been going through, but making it through, thriving through, more so than surviving through. Someone is almost like finding this passion again, like a rebirth of passion inside of them, and they're falling in love with themselves all over again, that's healthy, that's good. Or some of you might be falling in love with another. You may be realizing, oh my God, and I think that it could go either way here. Some of us, it's where we're just kind of excited about life again, and not necessarily because we're living for the future and what we hope to manifest, but more so being grateful for where we are right now, every day, like one foot in front of the other. Let me tell you how unrushed I was all morning. I mean, it is now almost 2 o'clock, and I'm so not in a rush. I am so not in a rush for anything at all. It's nice to kind of just sit in this energy. I woke up in an energy of like taking care of me, taking care of my body. Ever since my procedure the other day on my esophagus, I don't know, it's like something came over me to just take more care of myself, and I've succeeded. And it feels really good to sit in that energy, to be like proud of myself for taking it one day at a time and strengthening the bond and the relationship I have to my body, and realizing that, I can't do it without her. We kind of work together here. So my relationship with myself, me and the body, is strengthening, and I feel alive again, really. I didn't see that coming, but I feel alive again. I am in seventh heaven. And some of you are in seventh heaven due to having fallen in love with a person, like someone outside of you. Some of you, it's a romantic situation where this new fire has lit in your eyes, and you are a light again. Your passion for love, your passion for life has returned. You may feel even more sexual than usual. You may feel more creative than usual. Both ways, whether this is you are just like you're in a state of newfound love for yourself, or it's towards another. It's birthed this creative side of you and passionate side of you. I did a video months ago where I said, if passion is not present, I'm like better off dead. I'm basically dead, seriously. I have to have passion in everything I do. I have to. Truly. Or I not only bore, but it's like a slow death for me. So I constantly have to embrace change and be willing to challenge myself. And I can't really settle on any one thing, which really works wonders when I've gotten in a place where I'm not doing well for myself and taking care of myself, like an eating disorder. And when I can talk to that side of me and say, hey, I know this isn't going to be easy. Yeah, I know you're not going to make it easy for me, but listen, you've had your run with me, and I'm going to need you to move to the side now. It's time for me to love myself again. Thank you for the comfort that I thought that you provided. It's that conversation of extreme importance. It doesn't have to be angry. I'm not angry. I'm not thinking all the time I wasted, of all the damage I could have done. I'm thinking of where I am right now, the fact that I'm blessed to be here, and the fact that as long as I woke up another day, I can still make it better. I can still work on myself, and I'm falling in love with myself, but in the sense of like knowing it's all one, it all goes together. Like, I didn't realize how awful I've been to me, you know? So that's just where I'm at, and some of you may be there as well. I share that with you. I share that with you, and I know what that feels like. It's just, you want to be entirely selfish and about you, because for so long you weren't. You may have focused more on everything outside of you, or on things that just weren't good for you. They distracted you from you. But listen, some of you, this is actually being finding romance with another. Some of you, that is your story. And I will tell you, if that's your story, you must know, because I did a video for us yesterday, and I only picked up on the romantic side of things, and I definitely sent someone here who is completely gone mad, who's going mad right now, who is wanting to spite you due to not being the one you choose, or the one you continue to choose. Could be someone you already chose and you no longer choose. Either way, I'm not going to make this message about them. I don't want to make this message about how another feels about you. We do that often, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to make it more about, like, how do you feel about you, Aries or Crosswatcher? How do you feel about you? It's not really about how another feels about us. Not right now, it's not. How do you feel about you? How do you feel about you loving a new person? If you fit into the collective where you are feeling this new fire lit in you due to another person, how do you feel about you? Do you trust yourself with it? With the feelings that you have for them? Do you feel like you're living again instead of just longing to? Do you feel like you're living your life the way you want to, instead of what would other people think? And if you're doing this by yourself and you've chosen the path, at least for now, things can always change, but for now, where it's not necessarily due to another and a romantic connection, but you are in love with you again, or for the first time ever in a healthy way, how do you feel about that? And also, how do you feel about knowing that people are mad at you for it? They've drawn their own conclusions. They assume many things. Have you given it much thought, or do you not let it bother you? Are you more so busy being focused on helping yourself right now and loving yourself back to life, really? You should be really proud of yourself. Whatever collective you fit in right now, whether it be the one where you're in love with somebody, or you're falling in love and it feels so good to you. And if you're in the collective where I'm at right now, where it's like, yeah, you are the somebody you're falling in love with. Like, we thought we cared for ourselves before, but like, come on. This is real love. Like, caring about what we put into our body or who. Caring about what we feed our body, not only the food, but the thoughts, the music, the opinions. I think it's really important that we don't skip over this step, though, where we fall in love with us first, because when we don't, we can lean to the side of caring too much what others think about us when we don't know what we think about ourselves, and we can be overcome and lose our identity before we even discover it because we listen to what others think about us. So that's what I'm getting. And then the song kept coming to me, and I posted it in my community section. Una fortida lagrina. A furtive tear is what that translates to, I believe. And for some of you, I'm gonna throw this out there, okay? I'm gonna throw this out there. There's an air of caution here, and I did get it in the video yesterday. But like I said, that video was entirely about, like, it was entirely about one side of things, and I wanted to see it all. I wanted to see the bigger picture. But some of you know that you are worth more than maybe you've allowed yourself to receive. And be careful with anyone whom is already spoken for. Or be careful if you're spoken for. Or still spoken for, but falling for another. Be careful. Fall in love with you, Aries or Crosswatcher. Fall in love with you. Be proud of yourself. Be like, you know what? I've come so far. Don't worry about if anybody else thinks that you have. They really don't know. You're with you every single day. Every day. You're with you. Since the moment that you came through this existence, you are the one that's with you. You are the longest relationship you've ever had. And it ain't always been good. But you are your most loyal relationship. Whether you've been loyal in destroying yourself, that's me, or you've been loyal in liberating yourself, which is also me. I'm a little bit of all of it, I think. And that's fine. If you find yourself having moments where this kind of strange energy comes out of nowhere and you're like, why am I feeling this extreme, complete exhaustion and maybe even sadness or bitterness or hatred or anger, and why do I want to yell? Why do I want to lash out? Why am I irritated by everything? Some of you, it could be coming from you, but if it comes out of nowhere, just out of nowhere, some sort of attack, it's not coming from you, is it? Not this time, because you're actually in a state of seventh heaven. So where is that coming from? Well, a lot of you, it's coming from maybe even more than one individual, but one in particular who is scorned, who could also benefit from continually building a stronger relationship with themselves in the most intimate way possible, which you're doing, a lot of you. And until that individual chooses love and self-acceptance and genuinely chooses it, genuine, Jennifer, I'm just hearing that, they're not going to be happy with you for choosing you. And sometimes, for some of you who are falling in love with someone, or you already have, in choosing you means falling for someone, and it may be someone other people don't approve of. Maybe they don't feel that they're right for you, or they don't feel it's time, or they don't feel whatever. But sometimes in choosing you and choosing what you want, you will choose someone that others do not approve of, and they will spite you for it. And listen, in choosing yourself, they'll do the same thing, because it translates to people as arrogant and cocky and self-absorbed, self-concerned, self-inflated. The list could go on. Now, yes, we could cross a fine line of that, but you can't help what other people think about you. The universe will help that. They know what people are doing, what they're saying, and what they're thinking and not saying. You can't help what other people think that you feel about yourself, or think that you should be doing, or you can't help their madness. You're still working on your own, and you're doing quite well. You should be proud of yourself, and you should take your time. You should take all the time in the world. And if you run out of time, at least you weren't rushing. At least you went in peace. At least you were calm. And you took in the experiences, and you savored every moment. And you weren't living in fear. You were just living in awareness of it. Because we experience every emotion. It doesn't ever really leave us. We just kind of tuck it away until we need it, It's like the movie Inside Out, and I talk about that a lot. It really is. Fear never goes anywhere. It's always there. It's just, do we choose to pull that file out of us, Just like the darkness never goes anywhere. I talk about that. It doesn't go anywhere. We were created in darkness in the womb. And then we went through a portal of darkness before we came out of the birth canal. Unless we were cut out, birthed by cesarean, which was supposedly my case, but still I was in darkness for however many months I was here, and that varies from infant to infant, child to child, fetus to fetus. It's different the time that we are inside of the darkness, and then the energy that we are, which is what you hear speaking right now, using my vocal cords, my esophagus, and all of it to bring out this message. The energy and the consciousness and the observer inside of here as in the body, the taxi I'm in, the meat suit, I'm encased in darkness, as is everyone. I was thinking about that when I was going to go in for my procedure the other day when they did that upper GI. I was like, oh my God, I am that, that refrigerator I was referring to. We're all like refrigerators. We can point out everyone's darkness and be like, look how dark, look how dark. Now we all have varying degrees of darkness in life. Really, honestly, we don't know. We may think we know by their deeds, but we don't also know how dark we can get unless we're pushed to a certain limit. I'm sure all of us could actually get pretty dark, depending on what we're faced with and put through. all of us could think we're not dark all day, but let someone fuck with your child or something, you might become pretty dark. You might do things you would think you'd never do. You love something enough, you might kill for it. So, when they were gonna, do the upper GI, I was thinking, oh, they have to go in there with a scope and a light on it. And there's that refrigerator. Like, otherwise I'm dark inside, so are you. We all are, unless we're cut open and we're autopsied. We're all dark in there. And then we go through this life, the light shining on the outside of us, and on the inside we're just resting in this darkness. And then we return right back to the darkness, whether we are cremated and put into a crematory, we're put into darkness before the fire hits us and sets us alight, but we are still at one point put into darkness. And then maybe put into a box, our ashes, which is also dark, and if not, sprinkled around in the world. Or we're put into caskets, which are dark, and then put into the ground. Sometimes the ashes are put into the box and in the ground, varying degrees and levels of darkness, but we all really return to darkness. It's just interesting. So this isn't a message about how somebody feels about you, although we touched on it a little, or how people feel about you. They're going to feel how they feel. This is about how do you feel about you? How do you feel about this new flame within you, or this returning flame? It's like blowing the dust off of a candle you haven't lit in a while. How does it feel to be proud of yourself? To feel powerful again because you're doing something you want to do and not worried what other people are going to think about it. I'm not saying you're out there hurting people. This is people, if people get hurt because you're loving you and you're choosing you, you can't help that. This wouldn't be a message for anyone who's intentionally trying to hurt someone or being petty in any way, trying to be hateful or passive aggressive. This is more about an Aries or a cross watcher where in choosing you, others may become angry and lost in madness and vengeance, even jealousy, envy. But you can't help that. Unless it's reversed. The warning there would be that we need to be careful of being jealous or envious of anyone who's just choosing them, who's happy in their life. Very, very calm message, you guys. I love it. I told you, I'm not in any rush. You know what's interesting? I feel like I talked a lot less in this message, but I'm looking at the time right now and it feels a lot longer than it actually has been. So see, it goes to show you don't have to rush. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm always going to talk like this. It's just the energy I'm in is very relaxed. So if you do start feeling like moments of, why am I feeling these energies? Like I feel nervous, I feel anxious, I feel like, why isn't it here yet? Why haven't I'm hearing like, why haven't I heard from them? Why aren't they talking to me? Or why isn't the package delivered yet? Or why isn't my mail come in? Or why, or whatever it is. Or, like this nervous anxiousness type thing, or maybe even anger or irritation, but it's coming out of really nowhere, it seems. You know that that's not you. Emphasis on a hat, like a floppy hat. floppy hat. I don't know what that's about. I'm just seeing a floppy hat. Floppy hat. I've never gotten that. A floppy hat. Or hats in general. Hats. Some of you a connection to tats, like literally tattoos. Hats and tats. Hats, tats. Alright guys, well, thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.